Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
Hello, everybody. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew. And welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast. Just a little place where the three of us like to get together and talk about toys from the 70s, 80s, 90s, basically our childhood. And kind of just get history on them, get a history lesson, find out, how these toys got made and ended up on toy shelves. This week, we're rewinding back to 1987, and we're going to talk about a toy line released by Mattel called Boglins. And I hope everybody remembers these because these were a lot of fun. I actually do remember these a little bit. And these,
this fits right in with our spooky season episode.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
We're getting halfway to Halloween this month. So,
it is. It is halfway to Halloween.
Yeah, we're halfway.
Yep.
There.
I should get me a Halloween costume. Maybe I'll go be John for Halloween and scare people.
You need some hair.
I just shaved it today, but I got plenty of time to grow it back.
Mine needs to be cut,
but I have to shave, and I can't do that.
I got to get a haircut. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, before we can talk about the Boglins, John, why don't you do your thing?
Yeah, I'm not set up for that yet. So,
what is
like I said, I got home right before I signed on to this.
2 weeks in a row, and you're doing it. Why don't you just be the first thing you do?
Especially when we're like, "Are you guys ready?"
Yeah, you did that and started recording before you really asked.
Well, I didn't ask.
You're like, "Hey,
I usually ask, and you're still behind." That's okay.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I usually have
our listeners are okay with it.
Yeah, they probably know where to find us by now. They could probably do this better than me. Whoa.
Yeah, probably.
So, I'm trying to read this site. All right. So
here we go.
There's a lot of stuff in here. That's why I don't have it memorized, and I like saying it in a certain order. So where to find this, guys? You can check our websites over at toyrewindpodcast.com. You can check us out over at crossthestreamsmedia.com. Also, if you're on Cross the Streams Media, you're more than welcome to leave us a voicemail. We'd love to get one. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com, Instagram, Twitter, or X, however you want to call it now. And Twitch is all Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube is Toy Rewind Podcast. Make sure you're looking for that, looking for our logo and, the three non-professional people doing these podcasts. There you go. And then, as always, if you'd like to play a little game while you're listening to us, you can go to podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind and let us know if you're getting there or don't.
Yep, let us know if you get a bingo. Send it over to us on any of those socials. We'll be happy to interact and everything. One
new
quick
square.
call
John's
out.
Not ready.
Yes, there we go. I'll go add that in a minute. One quick thing for a question for all of our listeners. And we ask this all the time, but I really want to know, are there toy lines that you have not heard us talk about that you would like to hear us talk about? We still have a good list of things, but we're looking for some more. We're trying to see if we can get this list, how long we can get it, so that we know we've got another, 150 episodes, so you guys can continue to listen to us forever. We want to do this until we're 90, because why not, right? We can do that.
Aaron sent me a few days ago. I'm gonna have to sit down and look at them. And
okay. Always nice to hear that.
Offsets of some stuff we've already talked about, but yeah.
That's all right. It's fun to kind of talk about some of the toy lines. Like, I know this one will relate back to an older episode that we talked about, and it'll be interesting.
It actually connects two completely different.
Oh, does it? See, I knew it.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I don't want to spoil that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I know it relates back to one, so that's cool. So if there's more like that, that'd be great. Just we want to make sure we've got stuff, get stuff on our list and everything, so we're prepared and we can do all the research. So please do that. Send them to us. Let us know what you want. So for those extra ones that you've sent over, Aaron, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And with that, Michael, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get going.
John, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
I got my notes. I'm ready. I know John has struggles with
All right.
that. So.
Let's
All right.
rewind
Let's
and get into it.
All right. So this week we're talking about Boglins. Y'all remember Boglins back in the day?
I remember Boglins.
I remember them, but I don't think we ever had any.
I don't think we did.
I don't remember having these things, but
I don't think we did.
Pretty cool little.
I know.
Pretty cool little things. So there was. So Boglins was a creation of Tim Clarke, Maureen Trotto, and Larry Moss, and was released by Mattel in 1987. These were goblin-themed hand puppets that were released in multiple sizes and had several themes of their over their original run. So, real quick, Mattel produced these things for 2 years, 87 and 88, and then they just had some. They decided to discontinue it after 2 years, but it was so popular in the UK that they continued it till about 94 in the UK. So that tells you how more popular they were over there than they were here in the States. So I think, I believe we mentioned Tim Clarke before. This is where it kind of connects back to something else we talked about. Back in episode 115, he had a hand in making sectars. So
yep,
you get that hand with puppets. So the hand puppets. So Tim Clarke worked for Jim Henson on the set of The Dark Crystal, and he did Fraggle Rock as well. So during this time, he wanted to bring the idea of puppets to the toy aisles, to the toy market for kids to play with puppets. So he brought the idea up to Jim Henson, and Jim Henson says, "Yeah, we could do that, but I don't want to." So he just said he just flat out didn't want to make toys. I want to do the puppet thing for entertainment, and that's it. So, and he did a darn good job at it, because I know, I don't know what we would do without Fraggle Rock or Sesame Street or the Muppets, or that was our childhood. Everything, it was a lot of Jim Henson, and we didn't really realize it until we got older. Hey, that's all Jim Henson type stuff. So the Dark Crystal, movies and stuff like that, it was good stuff. So but he didn't want to make toys, so he turned it down. So he Tim Clarke eventually he teamed up with Maureen Trotto and Larry Moss, and then they created sectars, where the idea was developed after Tim had gone to a Halloween costume party, but he didn't want a costume, so he just put a puppet on his hand of a spider, and that was his costume. And that eventually became the little riding spider for sectars. You put your hand in it, and they'll ride on it like a horse or something like that. So if you want to hear more about that, episode 115 is where we talked about sectars. So, but anyway, so they were trying to come up with something else to go to bring out more stuff. So they came up with they kind of tapped into that gross out market that was at the time. We had Garbage Pail Kids. You had all the little horror movies with the like Gremlins and Aaron's gonna kill me. There's a lot of little munchkin looking critters. That's it. Yeah. So critters and those kind of things. Like I said, with all the gross out toys, we had Mad Balls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At the time. So they were tapping into that market. So they came up with this goblin type hand puppet that they kind of came up with. So originally pitched as an addition to sectars, they said this could be some kind of goblin thing that sectars could battle, after they defeated the other bad guys and stuff like that. And and they put it out there for Coleco, who actually produced sectars. And they said that the idea needed to be a little bit more simplified because it was costly to make. because they had, it was a puppet, so you move their mouth, but they also had little gadgets inside there where you can move the eyes and the eyebrows, and they could actually, the original idea was to have a hand that actually grasped as well. So it was another mechanism in there. So Coleco said it costs too much, simplify it a little bit, and then we'll think about it. Well, by the time they got that idea figured out to simplify it a little bit, Coleco ended up canceling sectars. So you can't have a bad guy to sectars if sectars aren't around. And then Coleco also had some other issues going on with the video gaming stuff that they had and stuff like that. So, so what they did was they shopped it around a little bit to different companies, and then Mattel ended up stepping in to produce the line. And so really the only thing that changed from the original concept to what Mattel did was that the hand part, it wasn't a mechanized hand. It was just where you can move the mouth. It had a little tabs in them where you can move the eyes back and forth. And the eyebrows, you can move little tabs inside there to make them look like they're squinting or blinking or winking or whatever you want them to do. They still had the arm, but the arms, they just moved at the shoulder. You had a little articulation there, and that was it. So Boglins consisted of a large goblin-like head that had some inspiration from the giant Olmec heads from ancient Mexico. These are big stone heads that were way back in the 900 BC, something like that, 800 BC that they made. So so Tim had seen those, and he had some inspiration from that. So they're round and kind of got this face on them. So he kind of went that route. It's constructed, the material is constructed from artificial rubber called Kraton. And there was 3 original large scale Boglins. Like I said, there's different levels, different sizes. So you have the 3 originals, large scale Boglins. Like I said, these had 2 arms that had shoulder articulation, and they had a tail, which wasn't very long. It was kind of a short, stubby type tail.
Yeah, it's kind of a like a Slimer tail. Like if you're thinking,
yeah,
about
it's
it.
kind of
like he's got the body, and it just comes off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's shaped like Slimer. So if you're looking at a Slimer figure, they're shaped similar like that. Their faces are just completely different. They're kind of all different kind of. And when you get the smaller ones, you get a bunch of different variations of the faces and stuff like that. You can insert your hand into the head and move its mouth and distort the face, because the way the rubber that we talked about, the rubber was movable, so you can kind of distort the face and stuff while you're using the mouth. In order to you could do that to make scary expressions. I said these had levers inside that could control the mouth, the eye movement and eyebrow movement. Also, these had glow in the dark eyes as well. So when you turn the light out, you see just the eyes. So if you watch the commercial for these things, when it starts out, you just see eyeballs glowing in the background, in the dark background and stuff. And then
I remember that commercial.
They come out. Yeah. So, like I said, there was 3 original large-scale Boglins. They were named Dwark, Vlob, and Drool. And in the UK, they actually changed Vlob to Plunk, and then Drool's name was changed to Flurp. So, and when we get to the smaller scale, there's a lot of them that got their names changed. I don't know why the UK, the English got people over there had trouble with the names that we gave them here in the US. I don't know, but anyway,
they never liked our name.
Yeah, there was a lot of toy lines. A lot of toy lines, when it gets in different countries, they change the name. I don't know. Maybe the names that we give them means something completely different over there, and it may be something offensive. I don't know. Maybe. Guess I'd have to go over there and ask people over there. But
just go ask them. Be like, hey, what does Boglins mean over here? And what is? Yeah, Go through the
Well,
whole
Boglins
list.
stayed the same. The names.
Boglins stayed the same. It's the names.
Well, I know, but I
actual
mean, but I
name.
want to know all of them. I just want to know, like, just go through the whole list.
So Blob was Plark, and Drool was Plunk. So those are the two names that got changed.
It sounds like
They
a
went
weird
from Blob
like a
to
Well, I got
weird
Blob.
sound.
Blob is Plunk and Drool is Flirt. We
Nope.
probably one of us got it right, one of it doesn't. So, but that's
Well, the
names
pictures.
that
one of
changed.
If you want me to show you the pictures I pulled up, they said this one was this one and this one because they have them both,
Okay.
but it's identical deal. So
Yeah.
all
right. So we do know Dwork. I guess Dwork kept the same. He was the same in both countries. So there was unlike
his
other.
name wasn't offensive.
I guess not. So unlike other toy lines from the 80s, there was no cartoon or anything for this. There's no comic books for these. So to kind of the only backstory that you got from these things came on the back of the packaging, and it was in the form of some kind of scientific notes that they put on there. So the scientists that study these guys were called bogologists. So the back of it was a bogologist field note. So the notes established the science of bogology, detailing how the creatures were given the species name of Boglins humungus, and that they came from a swampy bog that time forgot, and possibly a missing link to human personalities. So just kind of it's a link to our missing personalities, I guess. So like I said, there was those three, and then there was some smaller line. Let's talk about the packaging real quick. So the packaging was actually a box, a square box that looked like a wooden crate. So you got this creature. It's in a wooden crate. The front of it had like a little cage door that slid up and down with bars on it. Mm-hmm. And one of the bigger ones, the bars were kind of bent, so it looks like he was trying to escape. But that gate would slide up and down, so you can actually open it and pull your Boglin out, or you can put it in there and put it. It's kind of a packaging that you can actually sit on the shelf, and you can keep your Boglin in there when you're not playing with it. So it's kind of like a playset type thing. It also had a hole in the bottom, so before you bought it or whatever, you could try it out at the store and put your hand in there and move it around and stuff like that, and kind of get the idea how it works. So, like I said, the rest of the box was kind of like a wooden crate. It had slats in it. Some of the slats were where you can see where it looks like it's got teeth marks in it, or if it was slashed, there was like a sticker across it, and the slash through it. So it looked like there was a real creature inside there that would try to get out. Yeah. So the smaller line that came out, the original smaller line, these were probably about a couple inches smaller than these others. I think the original ones were like 6 to 8 inches, somewhere around that size, and then the other ones were like 4 or 5 inches, something like that. It was a couple inches smaller than the bigger ones. So there were 6 of these. You had Squidge, Schlump, Sherp, Spunk, Squawk, and Squeal. So that's the U.S. names.
Okay.
So the UK names it was Squint, Bonk, Splat, Blap, Clang, and Doink. So it kind of reminds me of like the old '66 Batman TV show where you hit Boink. Joker and it says Spoink or Splat or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, again, they changed the names over there. I don't know the exactly reason why, but they did. Let's see. The smaller ones don't have the movable eyes or the eyebrows. All you do is stick your hand in there and you can move the mouth. You can kind of distort the faces to get a little scary look or something like that. But they don't have the eye movement like the bigger ones do. So Boglins lasted, like I said, only 2 years in the U.S., but they were more popular in the UK. And over there, overseas, they were distributed by Ideal, and then Action GT was another company that distributed them too over there in Europe. So on the Boglin, other Boglin lines that came out shortly after these first two, you had Talking Boglins, which were Glint and Quirk. And I don't know what they said. I tried looking up and I didn't see anything. I don't know if you guys saw anything on that, but I didn't. So, but they had probably little sayings that they would say. I don't know. And then you had aquatic themed Soggy Boglins. Not the Soggy Bottoms, not Soggy Bottoms, but Soggy Boglins. You had Snish the Fish, Slog the Frog, Slobster the Lobster. Those were the three from the aquatic themed Soggy Boglins. You had Halloween Boglins, which has one of the rarest Boglins in it.
Oh no. One of the rarest Boglins in it, and we lost Michael.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hold on.
There you go.
You back? You back?
Okay. I'm back. You guys
so
on me.
Yeah, the rarest Boglin.
Rarest Boglin.
And we lost
rarest Boglin was the Bog of Bones. So
okay.
Yeah, so the Halloween Boglins, you had Blobkin and Boggo Bones, and Boggo Bones is one of the rarest ones you can find.
That might be why I can only find them in the box.
It may be why, yeah.
Boggo Bones.
And he's a white Boglin with black markings on him. Makes him look like a kind of a skeleton type look to him. Is what it looks like.
Oh, does he glow in the dark?
No, I don't believe he glows in the dark.
I don't think he does. But I think he'd fit in with all my Beetlejuice stuff.
Oh no, I don't see it on there. I'm looking at it. Somebody's trying to sell one through Amazon, and he glows in the dark.
No, maybe he does.
It says it's from the 80s, so I mean, I don't know. I could see that one glowing in the dark if any of them because it's white.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see anything on the packaging that says he does, but he might.
Then there's.
So. Yeah, and there's your Blobkin. He looks like a jack-o'-lantern. He's yellow with the black jack-o'-lantern markings around his eyes and nose and his mouth. So
those would be some fun ones to have right now coming into Halloween.
Mm-hmm. There was some, Andrew, that were glow Boglins. You had Clang, Doink, and Squit. Those were the three that were glow Boglins. And then we had Action Boglins, which were Rasp, Gunge, Lick, I don't know, Likk was his name. Eyeball, which is spelled Iball, and Spit. So all these guys here had actions figures.
I'm looking at one of these that somebody took, and it's a green one, and they put a Donatello mask on it. It's kind of funny, but the color of it. And I think it's mostly due to the color of it, and it has larger hands. But if you basically took, oh man, his name's just blanked. The big fat monster in Star Wars, Jabba. If you take Jabba the Hutt and you cut his head off, and then you make his entire body his head, and then you take his hands off and you make them huge and put them on the side of him. That's it. That's what these things look like.
Yeah,
these are head, and then they go to tail. I mean,
yeah.
It's just Jabba had more body fat in between.
Yeah, well, I mean, his head wasn't as big as this. I'm going to show this because it's kind of funny. The fact that they did it, they made it Donatello.
Somebody drew the mask on him. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a custom one, but it's still funny. I mean, hey, that one would totally fit in with my stuff over here.
That would be Gangrene. Is what it looked like.
Yeah, maybe so. All right, so we just talked about the Action Boglins.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there was the Basham Boglins. You had Splat and Squish, and Squish is spelled SKWISH. Squish. So, yeah, they have interesting spelling for some of these guys. And then later on they released the original three larger ones. but they gave them hair and they gave them a wiggly tongue in their mouth. So you had Dwark, Flurp, and Plunk with hair and tongues. So
well, that was that not 2 different releases? One they gave them the plush, the hairy, and then one they gave them the wiggly tongue.
I just have it as hair and wiggly tongues. So I don't know. Maybe they were 2, but everything I saw had them in the same one. So I don't know. That's what we get for looking stuff up on the internet. We see conflicting things here.
You can't trust the internet. The internet's
No,
not all true.
No,
Right.
It's not all true.
Well, I mean, I got a Flurp with hair, and he literally has like a mohawk.
Yeah.
I can pull that up and show you. And then I have, wait.
Yeah, throw that picture up, Matt John, so we can see it.
Yeah. So
those that got the YouTube version, y'all can see this, see what they look like. And we've been flashing.
well, he's in the box, so it's going to be kind of. Let's see here. Come on, share it. So you see how he's kind of got the mohawk there?
Yeah. And that's Flurp there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have Flurp with the wiggly tongue. The soggy one.
Flurp looks funny.
Well, this one's got you can tell he's got a tongue in his mouth right there. So I don't know. Okay, so all right, so let's keep
he's
moving.
got a tongue right there, but the others have kind of a.
We're researching in the middle of the show here, everybody.
Always, you know?
Always trying to get the last little bit of information, so we have it.
Because when you look at this one, he's got the wiggly tongue. He's got a big old tongue.
Yeah, and this one looks like he's got hair on him, a little brown hair.
Well, I don't know if that's hair or if that's from the picture.
I think that's his hair. Okay,
that looks like hair.
Yeah. That one, yeah.
So, but then, of course, the other picture looked like the pink box might have been the UK. You know.
Yeah. Well, that last one, it was. Well, these are both international releases because they have other languages on them. It's not
with wiggly tongue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's got the Ideal logo on it. So it's from.
It's a little bit later.
Over international.
Oh, it's international.
Yeah, because this one. I can't read. It says
it's got Ideal on it,
and then I can't read the other stuff.
Yeah, they may be 2 separate ones. Then one line with hair, and the 3 of them with hair, and then the 3 of them with wiggly tongues. So, but yeah. So we're supposed to be giving out good information, and we don't know ourselves.
Minus the purple hair, and if he had a longer nose, he'd kind of look like Falcor. That last one that you had up.
Yeah, maybe so.
You need more of a snout.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs the longer snout nose.
Yes,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
About all the wrinkles.
The snout needs to be,
Yeah. Mostly it's the wrinkles.
Yeah.
And who doesn't know Falcor? Because if you don't, you need to go watch The Never-Ending Story.
Never-Ending Story. Okay. All right. Back to Boglins. We're supposed to be scary. It's scary time.
Take some Kleenex with you.
Yeah. So that was the smaller version, or the smaller versions, and the re-releases of the original 3 bigger ones. There were also baby Boglins that were produced in smaller sizes and were more of a finger puppet. So you can just put it on your finger and you can wiggle it around. These came inside small plastic eggs, and then the ones that their names, you had Blap, Boink, Squit, Clang, Doink, Splat, Cratch, Flop, Lurp, Mork, Snot, and Suck or Sook. I don't know. SUK is his name. So that's their name.
Those are all Batman like sound effects.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And then it also came. There was 3 that were action Boglin variants. So you had Boink, Clang, and Squit. Also came in action Boglins. Like I said, these were smaller ones. You just fit on your finger would go in it, and you kind of wiggle it around on your finger. They may be 2 inches long, maybe at the most. It's not that big. There was also other variations of these small ones. They came in hard plastic. The other variant includes small hard plastic cage boglins, and then acrobat boglins made from a sticky elastomer similar to wacky wall walkers. Y'all remember those? Throw them on the wall.
Throw them on the wall, and
yeah.
they.
So they made some small the small baby ones in that stuff, and you throw them against the wall, and they slime down the wall. So
and they even oil residue on your wall.
Just as long as they don't sit there for a long time, because that's when it soaks into the drywall.
Yeah.
As kids, we didn't realize what's happening, but now when they do it as kids to mine here at the house, it annoys me.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that there. Do it on the glass.
Yeah, do it on the glass. It's easy to wipe off.
So with Ideal, after Mattel discontinued the line, and then Ideal kind of took over in the UK over there, they actually came up with mini Boglins. These were released in 1991 to 94. So the last 4 years that the Boglins were released. Ideal put these out. These were similar to muscle figures or Monster in My Pocket figures. They were the small, solid color little guys. And they, John's got one up there. But they were just small, and they were all one color, but they were, you could find the same one in different colors is what I'm trying to say. Just like you do on the muscle figures. These were randomly packed in blister packs of 3, 5, 10, or 20 figures, depending on how much you want to spend on a package of them. There was over 100 different distinct figures of varying colors, and they were usable in a Boglins themed game. There was also a game that you could play with these guys.
Gotta have a game.
Yeah. These guys were ranked. They had various. I think there was 12 different ranks or groups that had, I think, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's about 6 to 8 figures in each group, or tribes. They call them tribes, is what they did. Yep. So you have different tribes. You had the clumsies, you had the freaks, you had the greedies, the rude dudes, the tough guys, the army guys, the medievals, the prehistorics, the samurai, the rare dudes, and the cool dudes. So there's 12 different tribes is what they called it. So what you got was, there was a little carry case that you opened up, and it looked like a bog. It had little tree stumps and stuff like that. And the story behind this, it's on the back of this little thing, a little carry case, was the king of the Boglins noticed that the bog was drying up. So he sent his Boglins out to different areas and to find a new home. Well, they went in 12 different directions or something like that, and they all found new homes, but they never came back, and the king was there by himself, and he eventually just disappeared or something. So that's what I got out of some of the information I got on this. The little carry case was made out of that cheap plastic foam form stuff, and it was easily cracked. And if you put your Boglins in there, because of the tree stumps and the way the sides fold when they fold up together, it really didn't fit very many Boglins because of the different shapes inside when you close it up. So it was kind of hard to carry all your Boglins in that thing anyway. So, like I said, there was 12 different tribes out there. So there was also another game, a board game that came out that that when you roll the dice and you move your boglin, you try to collect different cards to complete. Use like 4 cards and of each of your color plus another special card. And when you got all the cards, you would win. But if you landed on a spot that another boglin was on, you send that boglin to the middle, which is a toilet full of slime. So you put the boglin in the slime, and that person loses a turn. So that's how that game is played.
They also get their hands dirty because they have slime all over their hands now.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's a hard game to find. From what I understand, it's one of those that you don't ever see come up for sale or anything like that. So it's kind of a rare piece. Because it's more, the boglin collectors out there collected them. And the board game guys, if they want it, they have to get it from the boglin collectors or something. It's hard to find. If you find one, it's worth quite a bit of money. But anyway, that's how that game goes. There was also on these. Well, let's look at these groups real quick. Like I said, you had the clumsies. You had, and each of these, and we won't go over each one because there's so many of them. You had, in each tribe, you had a chief, you had a scout, and you had a spy, and then a messenger, and then you had other ones, and some of them got retired and replaced with some other figures. I think there was one where he's making a face with his fingers. He's like one hand's pulling down his eyes, the other one's pushing his nose up, but it looked like maybe he was flipping you off. So they ended up getting rid of that guy and they replaced him with somebody else. But these guys have kind of got gruesome looking features on them.
Here, I got multiples just pulled up. I can't tell you which ones are out of each still anymore. But
okay, John's got some pictures. We'll talk about these pictures real quick.
These are they're small, hard ones.
Yeah, so this one's got his face. He's got his finger up his nose. And like I said, these are supposed to be gross out, scary type
don't
things.
remember which one I pulled this one off of.
His hand on top of his head?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess he's pulling his face back. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
And like Michael said, there's a chief of everyone. So this is Chief Yuck from the Samurai.
Yeah.
One, I do know that one. The other one we were just looking at was Stog. Sorry, Stog.
Stoggreen. Okay.
I've just got multiples just pulled up. This one is Glop. Looks like he's eating a pizza, so he'd probably go good with the turtle somewhere. A little boglin dude.
Oh yeah, he's got a pizza stuffed in his mouth. Yeah.
But yeah, they're just the hard plastic. And this one, I don't know what he's doing, but he looks like he's got one of those horns you blow, go doo doo doo, but he's stuck it in. I don't know. Well, is it one of the horns you blow, or is it the ones you hear from that they stick in their ear? Hey?
No, I think it's the thing you blow, and he stuck it in the wrong hole. He stuck it in his eye instead of his mouth.
This one is this is Chief Berg from the Army Brigade, I guess.
Yeah,
I do know that one.
And the silver colored ones were harder to find, were rarer than the other colors they had.
This is Plot.
Yeah.
Here's who is this guy? This is Drill.
Yeah.
This one is Merg, and he's one from which group was he in? Is he prehistoric or medieval?
I mean, I don't think he's prehistoric. If you look, he's wearing a Robin Hood hat.
Yeah, he may be medieval.
That sounds
I
more
was just pulling some up. This one.
That mustache.
Yeah, this is Kurg. And Kurg is from the Tough Guys. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. I when I finally got to where I can get pictures, I was like, I'm not pulling all these up. There's too many of them.
There is.
Here's a little
ahead,
description of these guys. Like I said, the bigger Boglins, I found this real quick. The bigger Boglins, the two sizes, the bigger ones are 6 to 7 inch, and then the smaller ones were 4 inch. So that's why I was trying to figure out the sizes earlier. And then, you know, and like I said, 91, they came out with these guys, the mini Boglins. There was six tribes with 6 members each, chief and 5 ordinary tribe members. The figures had 6 regular colors. You had yellow, blue, brown, gray, light orange, and olive green. The chiefs could also be silver, which made them more rare. Some figures also came all in black, which made them pathfinders that can move around at night without being seen. So that's part of the little game thing, the original game. So 92, there was 2 tribes that were added, a total of 8. They had 7 members each. A scout was added to the existing tribes. Scouts are rare. The 2 new tribes were Army guys and Disgusting. So it was the 2 new guys added in 92. And then 94, there was 3 tribes added for a total of 11. These had 8 members each, a chief, a scout, a spy, a messenger, and 4 ordinary tribe members. The messenger was a new figure to an existing tribe, so they added an extra guy to all the other tribes. The former member became the spy. Let's see. Maybe these were former Pathfinders as they were also black. So the 3 new ones they added from 94 was the medieval, prehistorics, and samurai. And then there was the perilous pranksters, which is a new name for the jokers, the rare dudes, and then the cool dudes, which was actually that tribe there was actually in. You can only get those through Kellogg's Frosties, the UK, which is the same as Frosted Flakes here. They're called Frosties over in the UK. So new colors that were added from 92 to 94. Some are red, dark orange, purple, gold, and neon colors with the samurai. So there wasn't much difference between orange and dark orange. So you had the clumsies. They almost didn't make it to their new home in the chimney. Chief Trog finally managed to get them there against all. So they lived in the chimney. The freaks, they're a ragbag collection of oddballs who live down the drain, led by Chief Bug, who's the ugliest of them all. The greedies, they found a perfect place under the fridge. And the jokers, which was later called the perilous pranksters, they live under the stairs and are full of mischief, but the jokes usually backfire on them.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And then the rude dudes, they are noted for their disgusting or rude behavior. Where else would they live but under the toilet? So these guys lived under the toilet. Let's see. Yeah, the tough guys, they live in the garden and are not really as tough as they look.
I was about to say, they don't sound as tough.
No. The army guys, they fought their way to the garage where Chief Ferg and his tribe ward off all enemies. So they live in the garage. You have the Disgustings. So Chief Drox led his tribe to the most disgusting of places, the dustbin. I don't know. I guess the toilet would be worse, but you had the medievals. They unearthed the home in the attic. The prehistorics, they're in the cellar. They live in the cellar. The samurai, didn't say where they live at. It says They're so special that they only come in neon colors. Okay.
They're neon orange, green, and yellow.
Yeah. The rare dudes, they are a motley assortment who are very difficult to find. Let's see, Chief Drox and Scout Droop are even rare as they are not engraved. So I don't know what that means. Other chiefs are engraved with the crown. Oh, okay. Other chiefs are engraved with the crown and scouts with an envelope. Apart from that, all guys from the rare dudes also appear in other tribes. Right now, let's see. Okay, so your chiefs and your scouts, the chiefs usually have a crown, and the scouts are usually holding an envelope. But the rare dudes, they don't have those attributes to them, so that's why they're harder to find. Then you got the cool dudes, which I said came in the Kellogg's Frosty cereal. They're small. They're actually a little bit smaller than the other mini Boglins. And there was 6 neon colors: yellow, blue, pink, green, orange, and dull red, as well as a gold. Only Cool, Chill, and Chump were released in gold as a limited edition of 10,000 figures. So, and like I said, these all have different names for, like the cool dudes, their names were Cool, Chill, Chump, Clack, Clot, Cone, Croc, and Conk. The rare, let's talk about the samurai. You have Chief Yak, you have Yell, Chief Yuck, Yell, Yak, Yum, Yin, Yule, Yarm, and Yelp. They're all Yelp wide names. Let's find some others with weird names. Let's see. And actually they all have the same letters. So like the tough guys, they all start with K. You have Crucia, Clock, Clav, Kick, Cug, Killa, Clang, Kurg, and Karf, which was actually retired. Like I said, some of these got retired and replaced by others. The rare dudes, you have Smog, Starf, Spig, Stick, Spoo, Stog, Stroll, Spoilet, and Splang. The Jokers, you had Prog, Perlock, Prod, Pard, Pelt, Prang, Porg, Plig, Poig, Plag, Purg, and Perk. Those last 4 were retired and replaced. So when you're looking at them, the different tribes have all their names start with the same letter. So yeah.
Here's one. This is a silver one, actually. So probably hard to find, but it's Chief Prague. I can't figure out the face.
Chief Prague.
He's looking down. You can only see really one of his eyes, John.
Is that what that? So that's the eye.
So he's
that's an eye. You're looking at him from the top, really. He's got a slingshot in his hand, and he's looking through the slingshot. He's got a slingshot in his hand. You're looking at him from the top of him. You're not looking at from the.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, this is kind of confusing because I'm trying to figure out, but I get that now. I see the arms.
Yeah, he's got a slingshot.
You see his tongue sticking out, John?
Yeah. He's got that slingshot pulled back. Yeah. So
that's his arm, right?
No, that's part of the slingshot.
That's the slingshot. He's pulled back. This is where he's holding.
So his arm's going to be back behind his head.
His arm's going to be back here. Then. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing when I first saw it. I was like, so there's his nose, his eyeball. Okay.
Yeah. Some of these guys, you'd have to look twice to figure out what their expression is. Like I said, some of them, they got their tongue sticking out, or they got their finger up their nose or in their ear, or they're eating something, or something like that.
Telling you to come here.
So, yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, so that one's got his fingers. There's one where, what is he in? Where it looks like he's holding a hammer with one hand and his other hand's up in the air, and his finger's really big, like he hit his finger with the hammer. So,
that was Clumsies.
Yeah, I think it's Clumsies. Yeah,
that was this one, right?
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, that one. He's got a hammer.
That is actually Chief Trog.
Chief Trog. Okay.
Yeah, for the Clumsies.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, you know.
He looks like an idiot, and I guess he hit his head. He hit his finger with the hammer.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm guessing. Let's see here.
Also in the Clumsy, you have Messenger Talk. He's got a phone with the phone cord wrapped around his head a couple of times. So yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I showed him earlier.
It says here under I was reading this. It says he's always tied up on the phone. He has Spy Tong. He's too dumb for words. It looks like he's got a knife, about to cut his tongue off or something. I don't know. So
interesting.
Trying to find. You said one looked like he was trying to flip you off, but you know.
There's another one for the Clumsy. His name's Trap. He's a former percussion player. He's got two cymbals with his head in between the cymbals, like he just crashed his head with the cymbals. So,
this one?
Yeah, there you go. That's Trap. Yeah, there you go.
He looks like he's cymbals.
Michael, you didn't do cymbals much, did you?
Nah, I did my first year in college. I had the cymbals, but the rest of the time I was on snare.
Oh, so you could have smashed yourself, huh?
Yeah, I didn't do that. I'm trying to find this guy for you, John. But anyway, that's the gist of these guys. Like I said, they're little small figures, just like Muscle, Monster in My Pocket, those type styles. They were produced by Ideal over in the UK. Some of these guys are getting kind of pricey. Because they're hard to find around here in the U.S. because they weren't released here. You can also get them in like blind bags in some other countries. They were, like I said, in the UK, they were released in 3 packs, 5 packs, 10 packs, or 20 packs. And they were all blind boxes. So you don't know. I think it had a picture of just one figure on the front, and the rest of them, you don't know what you got. So that would be something cool for us to see if we can get a hold of some of these things, and that may not have been open, and we can find out what we got.
I like these. I like the muscle type figures too. I like the little hard plastic. You know, I've got several on me. I've got the Care Bears and everything too. So
yeah, being 30 years later down the road, it'll be kind of hard to find, but it's something we may look into that and see. I'll have to keep an eye out.
See if we can find some.
Yeah. So, all right.
Let's real quick. Let's rank these. Let's put these on our lists, and see where do these things fall for you guys? Because I like these, so I think they're really cool.
I like them. They're cool. I really like them now, more as an adult, probably. Of course, we probably would have had fun with these as a kid too.
We would have had fun with these as a kid.
I like these guys. I'm gonna put them. We're looking at our rankings now. I'm actually gonna put these. I'm gonna put these at number 6. I like these guys.
Number 6 for Michael.
Yeah.
John?
And I like the idea the bigger ones, where you can move the eyes as well too. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna go 7.
Number 7.
Yeah, I'm with Michael. I like these, but I mean, I can't put anything above my stone protectors right now. I haven't seen anything that wows me that much.
I'm actually I was gonna go number 6 on these, pushing the Tonka Steel Monsters down. I was trying to see if I can push Extreme Dinosaurs, but I just can't do it. Having those Street Sharks and Extreme Dinosaurs, kind of up there, they just worked.
And one other thing, I said this connected 2 different lines. We talked about Sectors. Yeah. If you remember, so Mattel discontinued these in 88. They went from 87 to 88, maybe a little bit into 89, but they pretty much had a 2-year run in the U.S. If you remember, Street Sharks by Mattel had hand puppets as well.
They did
exactly like this. If you remember Vin Diesel advertising Street Sharks, it's the same kind of functions. The only thing that was different was it didn't have the Street Sharks didn't have the movable eyes and the brows and stuff. It just had the smaller
rubber.
versions.
Yeah,
it was just the same. I think it's the same material they use. Stick your hand in there, and it's the same idea as Boglins, except without the movable stuff inside. But so it kind of connects Sectars. Then you had Boglins, and then you had Street Sharks, which kind of all run together. And that's probably where they got some of the idea of Street Sharks as a hand puppet part when they had the hand puppet Street Sharks. So
I mean, hey, I think that make them all connect together. It'd be great. Let's do more of that interconnectivity within toys, so that we don't have
Street
to come up
Sharks
with,
connects to Extreme Dinosaurs, and then you had Muscle Mutts, which are connected to that.
Muscle Mutts just were they just weren't as good.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
All right. Well, I really like these. I think they're cool. Just the whole, I don't know, the hand puppet. I don't know. I was a puppet person. The hand puppets are kind of cool to me. So just being able to do that and have that, plus the idea of the cage of the boxes, so that you can like open the cage. Like I like it when toy lines do things like that.
And you can actually use it inside. You can use it inside the cage. You can put had the hole in the bottom of it, and you put your hand in there, and you can move the mouth and stuff and play with it. When
you take the package and you try to make it part of it, and it's not just a box to hold whatever, it just makes it more fun. So, it's all good stuff there.
Yep.
Anything we want to add about Boglins? There's a lot there.
There's a lot.
It's a lot for a smaller line.
It'd be cool to find a lot of these mini Boglins, the smaller ones like that. But even having the original, the regular ones, they did come back out in 2000. Tim Clarke. Every step of these things that they've actually been released a couple times after the original thing, and every time it's been released, Tim Clarke has been a part of that process. So it's always been his. It's always been his baby. There was some even up to just a couple years ago that came out that were released, and there's some that are out right now. But that's what it is. It's been his idea. It's been his baby the whole time, and he's been a part of the process on every time it's been released. So yeah, there you go. That's the one with the finger up the nose. I mean, all he's doing is pulling his nose, and then he's got.
But it still looks like he's flipping you off.
It looks like he's flipping you off. Yes.
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
So that one only lasted 1 year, and he was retired pretty quick, and he had some parents complaining about what it looked like, what he was doing. There was also one. There was one that had like a gun to his head. I mean, that one didn't last very long. And then, some of these were really weird. So, but anyway, so if you ever come across some pictures, check them out. They're pretty cool.
Sorry, it's bothering.
So, all right.
131. Be sure you check out all of our social medias that John listed earlier. Just basically look up Toy Rewind Pod and find the one that doesn't look like a professional. Did we lose John?
We're not. Huh?
He kind of froze there for a second.
I didn't. I lost you.
Michael?
I don't know. I'm here.
Okay, you're still there. Just make sure you were still there. He's just like frozen.
I'm still here.
I didn't know what he was doing. It just kind of caught me off guard. Check out. There he is. He's back. Okay.
We're having some kind of technical difficulties, I guess.
I don't know what he's doing. Sorry. Be sure you check out the social medias. It's where we post any kind of fun stuff that we have and everything. And so this is Toy 31 of our fourth round of ranking our toys. So that means that very soon we will be getting ready to do another bracket, which will be fun. So be sure you follow the social medias because that's where we're going to try to take care of it. Boglins episode 131 was lots of fun. If you retweet this, put a ghost and a monster in your tweet, and John will send you a sticker if we find out that you did it.
Eager.
Yeah, we got plenty of stickers. Okay, with that, on behalf of the Brothers Newland, here's the Toy Rewind podcast.
Go Rangers.
Play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.